Tanchi Weaver is back in the studio with us today, and Tanchi, we hear day after day, week after week, tragedy after tragedy, where deranged people are doing unspeakable things with firearms.
Yes, and today was one of those days. Let me just relate to you how I learned about it. I had the opportunity today to go to my granddaughter's Christmas program, and it was a delightful little program. All the parents and grandparents were crowded in the auditorium, and the children sang and performed, and it was wonderful. Before I went in, I drove up and parked, and I was in a hurry, and I thought, oh, wait a minute, I better leave my gun in the car. So I did. And then immediately after this program, I'm driving home and I hear the reports of this shooting, and my heart just sank. If only there had been a responsible adult there with a firearm to stop the carnage. Maybe they might have not saved every life, but they probably could have saved lives.
Well, Tanchi, you know this, and I know this. Some of our viewers may not know that there's been attempts to provide for provisions that would allow students in colleges in South Dakota to carry arms on campus. It's been, no pun intended, shot down every time.
Oh yeah, and we've seen the results of the fact that there are so many gun-free zones, and campuses are one of those places. I don't know about you, but my daughter, when she was college age, was in the Army, carrying a sidearm every day of her life, and was responsible enough to carry a firearm in defense of our freedoms in the field of battle. So I would have a problem with the Board of Regents or any other entity. There's no asterisk on my copy of the Bill of Rights that says except on college campuses.
Well, and gun-free zones are not crime-free zones.
I work in a gun-free zone, and believe me, it is a good way to invite things. They say it pays to advertise. So when you put up a sign that says, this is a gun-free zone, if I'm a homicidal killer, someone that's acting out of whatever emotion or condition of their mental state, that's where I'm going to go hunting.
The argument that people use, like in the theater shooting in Colorado and others, these shooters are now wearing body armor, so it wouldn't do any good. Not so.
Not necessarily.
They don't have 100% body armor, do they?
No, they don't. And I'll tell you what, it would interrupt them to take on fire as well.
Yes.
So it would give people seconds to escape. It's like they say, when seconds count, the police are only minutes away. The police today responded in extraordinarily good time.
Yes, well,
and yet there were still all those tragic
deaths.
Over. Yes,
the only thing the police can do is investigate what's already happened many times.
That's right, and it is difficult. There's a lot of mental illness these days. It's touched many families, even my own, and it is tragic. There's no way to predict these things because a mentally ill person does not act logically, and it's just something that I think is systemic in our society. Much of it is drug-induced psychosis. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV, but
you could.
But I know for a fact that you cannot predict what life is going to throw at you. The only thing you can do is prepare.
And you know, one thing you can predict, Tanchi, is that someone prepared to responsibly execute self-defense can save lives and spare people from incredible tragedy, life-changing tragedy.
That's true, and it's a tragedy what these people are going to have to deal with in their hearts and minds and souls from this day forward.
Tanchi, I'm glad that you are prepared, and I want you to know I'm prepared, and most of the people we know are ready to defend the life of other people.
It's our responsibility as
Yes, it
free
is.
people.
Yes, it is. I hope you'll take this under consideration. Call your legislator and tell them to support responsible gun ownership, not restrictions on our Second Amendment rights to self-defense.